Okay, so as you can probably tell from the title, this is going to be a very random, weird video, but I guess I wanted to rant a little bit. So if you watched my last video, I talked about how hard it is well, I really haven't talked about how hard it is, but it's taken us 2 years to try to conceive, and we've been through lots of fertility stuff. I've done Clomid, what feels like a lifetime. Since I've been doing fertility medicine, my friend started trying to conceive November 2009, and we started March 2009. So, me and my husband have been trying a little bit longer than her and her husband, and so, all last year we kind of were just talking about it and, how frustrating it was for us because we're both very tiny people. And, that may have something to do with why, I haven't been able to conceive yet. I really don't know. My doctors really haven't even come up with an accurate diagnosis. They told me I had polycystic ovaries, but that was before they did any kind of tests or anything. That was just him talking to me, and my diagnosis came back, polycystic ovaries. I'm like, how did you come up with that conclusion? Like, I don't know, it's just really stupid, and it's kind of been like that. Like, the whole fertility process has been really stupid. So we were on Clomid for 3 months. We took a break because we heard that being on Clomid for any longer than 3 months is really bad for your uterus, the lining of your uterus. So we took a break and we started the Clomid again, and we did fertility. We were going to the fertility doctor then. He was doing ultrasounds to track my follicles and, gave me HCG shots to kind of trick the eggs to do whatever they're supposed to do. So none of that worked, and I ended up totaling my car on the way home from one of my appointments. So I stopped going. I needed a break from it anyways. It was just really stressful, and I had no way to get there, obviously, because I was in the process of doing all of that and, just trying to find another car. And so I took a break, and now I'm going to get the HSG. If you saw my last video, you know. But, so, a couple weeks ago, my friend and I were going to hang out. We were going to go out to lunch, and she was like, I'm not really feeling good. She's like, I'm on antibiotics right now because I'm sick. You still want to hang out? And I'm like, yeah, I don't really care about that. I mean, it's just the flu. Who cares? Whatever. I mean, everybody gets it pretty much at any point around this time anyways. So, like, hi, honey. That's my little dog. She just wants to say hello. But anyways, so a few hours later, before we were supposed to meet, she calls me and was like, hey, I just got sick. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, don't come out, I was like, definitely don't come out if you're throwing up and stuff like that. I don't, want you to feel uncomfortable or anything. So, we just canceled the lunch. Well, the next day I texted her and I was like, hey, how are you feeling? And she calls me, and I'm like, okay. So she's like, hey, I was going to call you this morning, but I know what time you woke up, but I'm pregnant. And, I was happy for her because she's been trying for a year, just like I've been trying for 2 years almost. So she conceived sometime in December. They were at their parents' house, and so I guess sometime in the process of being there, they conceived. And, I was really happy for her and everything. But, like today, she posted on Facebook the pictures of the ultrasound, and, she's talking about the heartbeat and everything. And it just, I guess it really got to me. Like, I'm happy for her, don't get me wrong, but it's still really hard for me to deal with because I'm not pregnant yet. Like, it's just really hard for me because I don't know. I mean, I'm happy for her. I don't want that to come across like I'm not happy for her. But I guess because of all the stuff that I've been through, you know, all the treatments that I've done, she hasn't done any of that yet. She was just trying naturally and she got it. And I guess because I've been trying longer, it's still pretty upsetting for me. I mean, I'm glad that she's pregnant and she doesn't have to go through what I'm going through, but in the same token, it's hard for me to look at stuff like that because I want this so much, you know, and I knew it was going to be hard for us because I don't have regular periods. You know, I'll go like 3 months without one, and then I'll have one for 2 months, and then I'll go without one again. And it's just like, you know, it's just really aggravating. I never know. I never know when I'm ovulating, if I am ovulating at all. And so, I mean, it's just, I want to be happy for her, truly, truly, genuinely happy for her, but I know right now the way I'm feeling, I can't sit here and talk to her about it and her show me pictures and stuff. You know, my husband's sister decided to start trying this past summer, and at that point we had hit a little over our 1 year mark, and so she starts trying in July. She didn't get pregnant in July. In August, you know, she started trying again, and she was like, you know, in September we went to a wedding and she was there, and she was like, you know, I'm 14 days late, but every pregnancy test comes back negative. I'm like, maybe it's just because you're stressed, you know, stressing, your body knows when you're trying to conceive. It's just like, it automatically knows, and it's like throws your body out of whack. And it's like, maybe that's your issue. She has very normal periods, so for her that's very abnormal. Well, a few weeks later, she ended up texting me and saying, I'm pregnant, yay. And I cried for 2 hours. I'm not gonna lie. I cried for 2 hours because I was just so upset that she tried 2 times and got it. And here I've been this, like, trying all these medicines and trying different methods, and, you know, I just feel like I'm, like, bawling my eyes out and praying my heart out to God just to give me this opportunity to have a child. And here she didn't even have to think about, what if I can't conceive? She didn't even have to get to that point where she was worried that, what if we're going to have trouble? What if we're going to have to do medicine? What if we're going to have to do this? You know, I was happy for her, and I am happy for her, but when she sends me pictures and tells me, you know, oh, we found out it's a girl and all this stuff, you know, it still kind of like stings, you know, it's just like somebody's like stabbing this little piece of my heart, and it's like, I want to be that happy. I want to know what it's like to be excited to see the ultrasound and be happy to tell everybody, oh, I'm pregnant, and to go and buy baby stuff. You know, I bought her loads and loads and loads of baby stuff. Like, I went crazy. But honestly, I think the reason why I went out and bought so much stuff for her is because it was for my own stupid satisfaction. I mean, it sounds really selfish, and it probably is very selfish, but because I don't have a child, I'm just like so ready to just go and buy the baby stuff and, you know, get all this baby, you know, little bottles and diapers and clothes and everything like that. You know, this was my way of feeling like I'm buying for myself. And so I just like went crazy buying for her. And, you know, I'm helping a lot with the baby shower. And you know, I'm going to be doing maternity photos with her and her husband and his daughter. You know, it's just something I wanted to give back to them, you know, and I don't want to be 100% angry and jealous and aggravated, because she can't help that my situation is sucky, you know. She got lucky and she didn't have to worry about what it's gonna be like when they start trying to conceive, you know. So, but it's just really hard for me to be 100% happy for people who get pregnant with ease, or even as far as my friend, you know. I mean, I'm happy for her. I'm really glad that she's having a baby, because right now with their circumstances, this is something to really lift them both up and you know, make them happy. But you know, I like, every time I try to confide in somebody about how I'm feeling, of course I can't confide in my husband because I feel like I bug him to death, You know, I don't want to have to be like that. I don't want to make him annoyed with infertility, you know? It's annoying for me, yes, but I don't want to annoy him with talking about it all the time. And I can't confide in anybody in my family because none of them have had to deal with it. My mother hasn't. My sister kind of had to, but it didn't take her anywhere as long as it has me. And I just, every response I get is, oh, when you stop trying, it'll happen. Okay, well, I tried that, and that's a bunch of crap because it didn't happen when I stopped trying. It just prolonged me from getting pregnant even longer. And then I'll have people say, oh, you know, it's, you know, God's got a plan for your life. It'll happen when, you know, when the timing's right. I shouldn't have to wait for the timing to be right for me to have a baby. When I'm ready, I think I should have the baby when I want to have a baby. I mean, I'm 24 years old. I never thought I would be this old. Not saying that I'm old, but, you know, I never thought I would be this much older in my life to, you know, try to have a kid. You know, I always thought by 22 I'd have a baby. And we ended up waiting until we were 22 to start trying to conceive. But I thought for sure, okay, what's one more year later? Well, 2 years later, and I'm still at the same point wondering, when is it gonna happen? And it's just really aggravating for people to tell me, oh, it'll happen. You just gotta be patient. I don't want to be patient. I've been as patient as I could possibly be for 2 years of my life. I don't want to be patient anymore. I don't want to relax and let it happen naturally or wait for God to decide when the right time is, because right now is the right time for me. While I'm still young, I want this so bad. I'm going to get to the point where I'm just so aggravated that I'm going to like hate life. I'm going to have to go in a mental institute. You know, it's just a goose fraba now. I'm ready for a baby, and I'm ready to jump to the most invasive thing that I can do. I don't want to go back to starting Clomid again. Obviously, 6 rounds of Clomid did not work by itself. You know, I kind of want to jump straight to doing IUI, you know, depending on what this HSG turns out to be. Hopefully, you know, everything turns out to be very, you know, clear and open. So hopefully that I can just skip right to the IUI part and get pregnant. But we'll have to see. So whoever's watching this video, I'm sure if you're watching this, you're probably dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with, or maybe someone you know is. You know, I don't have any advice. I feel like I'm the one that needs advice, but you know, I'm sure you understand what I'm going through, and you know, good luck to everybody out there. I hope that nobody ever has to deal with what I'm dealing with, the stress, the emotions, and the difficulty of just being happy, you know, wanting to be 100% happy for people who are pregnant and living everyday life happy. So I know this is like a really long video, but thank you guys for listening, because right now I just feel like I don't have anybody to listen and understand. But good luck to you guys as well. Yeah, and check out my other video about methods. You know, I'm just kind of going over methods, and I need tips and advice and whatever else. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.